I was born in Brazil. We were extremely poor, up to the point where the only food we had was the leftovers from my older sister's school. And the butcher around the corner who used to give us meat scraps from the day. My dad used to be very physically abusive to my mom. Life was really hard for my mom, and that's why she decided to leave behind my 3 sisters and my brother. We went to live in a farm which was undisclosed to my family. My mom used to go out to work in the field with her boyfriend, and I used to be home alone. Actually, I was outside of the house for the most part of the day because they didn't trust me to be inside of the house. I could set the house on fire or something. And I remember very vivid this day that I was playing outside, with the dogs, and I fell in a dry up well, and I was there for the entire day trying to find my way out of that well. By the end of the day, I finally managed to get out of that well, and then when my mom came back, I told her about that, and she was so mentally blind that she wasn't able to distinguish the right and wrong, and she didn't care about that story at all. And then my sister finally found us, and she took me to see my dad. I spent my 7th birthday with him, and that was actually the last memory that I have from my dad. I always wanted a relationship with him. I've always wanted to be close to him, and I didn't have a chance because he died when I was 10. One day I was going home from school, was riding my bike. It was at night. I had this feeling, this fear from darkness, and I saw this guy standing on the middle of the road, and he approached me, and he started to talk with me about these fears that I had, and some other things that was happening in my life, my questions about God and everything. And he asked me if I want to accept Jesus as my Savior, and I said yes, I do want it. As I was getting involved with the church, we all went to a retreat. They call it Encounter with God, and it was literally encounter with God for me, because I haven't realized that God was taking care of me since I was born, and from all step of the way, and every moment of my life, He was always with me, and it was really special. And from that moment, I started to have like a more seriously relationship with God. I started to seek God more, and even though it wasn't perfect, it was a beginning for me to get to know God even more. January 2015, I had the opportunity to move to America, and I started a new life. I married my wife in 2018, and we moved to Clearwater, and we had no church here to attend. We went to a few churches, and we found church experience, and it was great. We felt home immediately. People came to us, and they were asking where we lived. They were very polite and in a way that very inviting, and we fell in love right away with the church. Also, the church is very family oriented, and when it comes to family, this is very important to me because I want to grow my roots on this place, and this is a perfect place, and where I see my brothers and sisters, a place where I can call home and where I can call my family.